What have I gotten myself into? I'm Brian, and this is DIY Off-Roading. In today's video, we're going to take the Jeep out for its first run since its lift kit installed and new axles installed. So right here, I'm in the backyard doing a little test and tune. Right now, I'm testing out the lockers, make sure the lockers are working before I hit the trail. So on my Jeep Slick Stone, we installed a 4.5-inch metal cloak, what they call lock and load lift kit. We also installed front and rear differentials. They're used axles that I picked up off the San Diego Jeep Club swap meet page. They were highly modified. Some of the modifications include the full floating Terraflex axle setup here on the front and rear. I will go in more depth videos on those axle setups in future videos. But for now, we're going to focus on this trip that we took it on. So my girlfriend Gina and I are members of the San Diego Jeep Club, and we're going to Big Bear. But before we do that, we got the Jeep cleaned up and ready to go. So I give it a good detail and wash. First time it's been washed and detailed in probably 3 or 4 months. So I had to strap the spare tire on the inside of the vehicle. Our tire carrier is not strong enough to handle that. Plus this is an 8-lug and it's set up for 5-lug. And then I also got a tool bag here, and I got it strapped down. That way it doesn't go bouncing around in the Jeep or whatever and become a projectile. So I got it strapped down, got the tire strapped down. We're gonna throw in a couple suitcases and a cooler, and we're gonna hit the road. So we drove up to Big Bear the night before. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from our house in San Diego. And now we're here at the driver's meeting, just getting prepared to go on the trail. Now this Jeep event was put on by the San Diego Jeep Club, and this particular trail that we are on is a pretty simple trail. It's more about the scenery than the obstacles on this trail. I wanted it that way because this is a test and tune trail ride for me.
All right,
Maiden Voyage.
right? And we are taller, and we are in beautiful Big Bear. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
So like I said, this trail is more about the scenery than the obstacles and stuff. It's very rough washboard type roads. It did have a few rutted out areas from rain wash and stuff like that, but overall it was a really easy trail. A bone stock Jeep would handle this no problem. It was pretty cool listening into the radio talk. The people leading the group were very traversed in the area and the history of the area, and so we got a little history lesson on the drive. So when we were on the trail, my main focus was just listening for rattles, clicks, clanks, anything that may have gone wrong with the suspension on the test drive or on the trail itself. And the only thing I really needed to do was adjust my shocks a little softer to absorb those washboard roads. Other than that, the Jeep did perfectly. So if you guys are considering getting into off-roading, I highly recommend joining a club. So I'm with the San Diego Jeep Club. The members here are awesome. They're very helpful. They have a swap meet page to help offset some of that cost of building an off-road vehicle. And there's tons of knowledge in this group. The cool thing is a lot of these members will split off in smaller groups and go tackle bigger obstacles or bigger trails in smaller groups. But meanwhile, while you're in the large group, it's a fun learning experience, and not only on the trail, but just how to build your Jeeps or your off-road vehicles. So I highly recommend the group. So after the trail was done, we all met up at a local barbecue restaurant here in Big Bear. This was a tour of some of the San Diego Jeep Club members' vehicles. There are some awesome vehicles in this group for sure. So while I was at the barbecue, I met a few other Jeepers, and they invited me out on my very first night run. So after this event here was over, a smaller group got together and we did a night run. Now on my Jeep, I didn't go too crazy putting a lot of lights on the Jeep. I did put a few 8-pillar lights on it. I think I might want to switch them out for amber colored in the future for a little bit better visibility in the dust. So I'm super pumped right now. I'm doing my first ever night run in a group of about 15 Jeeps. I'm here in Big Bear at I think what they call it, Skyline Trail is what I think it's called. I'm just a little nervous and just trying to pay attention to the road and just have a good time and trying not to drive off a cliff. Trying out my new pod lights here, or the 8-pillar lights. These things are pretty freaking bright. It's like having a second pair of high beams. Right now I don't have the high beams on. I'm third Jeep in line here of about 15. This is pretty exciting for me. It's pretty cool. We're doing a pretty easy trail, nothing too crazy. It's mainly a dirt road, but it gets a little washed out here and there. But it's a lot of fun. If you're thinking about getting a Jeep, I highly recommend it. It is so much fun. So much fun in the garage, working on the Jeep. So much fun on the trails. It doesn't matter if it's a service road or fire road or crazy trail. Just it's so much fun to get out here and do it. So much fun to be out here in nature. Oh my god, it's so cool. Earlier today I had my girl on the Jeep and it was awesome. The conversations, you know, sharing this experience together. But right now I'm doing the solo. Well, I'm solo in my Jeep with a group of guys, and it's freaking awesome. You know, just being out here by myself in the Jeep by myself, and it's just really cool.
Charlie. Thank you. It was so quiet, I wasn't sure if our radio was working. Crickets, crickets, crickets.
That's what I mean. It's a full learning experience. So I have a GMRS radio in my Jeep, and the communication, learning learning navigation, all that stuff is so cool.
Yeah, you're scaring her.
I had to make an adjustment to my 8-pillar light on the driver's side. I had to reach out the window, and it's pointed outwards as I'm making left-hand turns here. The trail would go blind on me. I couldn't see it at all. Now that I've made this small adjustment, I can see around the corners. These gloves I'm wearing are awesome. That you can hear them on the steering wheel, how grippy they are. The Jeep behind me's got some serious light bars and pod lights that are really lighting up the trail behind me, which is surprising that how much it does not blind me in the mirror. I thought it would blind the heck out of me from behind, but it actually does not. And his lights are actually helping me. So after an awesome weekend, it's time to head back down the mountain. And this time I get to give my girlfriend a little bit of a hard time. She gave me a hard time driving up. I got
We're
you.
not on this side.
I got you. You look at the road.
Keep your eyes on the road. We're on this side of the road this time, not the cliff side. So I have, wiggle room.
So when I was driving up the mountain, I'd point out something cool, and she'd freak out, saying, "Keep your eyes on the road. Don't look over there. Keep your eyes on the road." I'm Brian Eslick from DIY Off-Roading. I'd like to thank you guys for watching and encourage you to subscribe.